Hi, this is Bill, and this is Finest Travel Beat with Angela and Bill. Today we're going to take you back to London for day 2 of our British Isles adventure as part of our pre-cruise tour on the Regal Princess. Yesterday we took you around with us on day 1 of our London adventure and showed you such sites as the Tower of London, London Bridge, the Tower Bridge, and gave you some information on using the London Underground. Today we're going to show you a unique spot to watch part of the Changing of the Guard ceremony. We'll also take you to the National Gallery, the British Museum, back to Trafalgar Square, and also to Picadilly Circus, among many other spots. We hope you enjoy this video and to provide you with the information that you need for your own London adventure. After getting a night of much needed rest at the Sheraton Grand London Park Lane, which is located not too far from Buckingham Palace, it was a Sunday morning, so we decided to go to the Changing of the Guard ceremony. Now, the Changing of the Guard ceremony is held Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at about 11 a.m. If you want to go and see it in front of Buckingham Palace, plan on getting there 2 or 3 hours early, being jammed in and not seeing much. We chose instead to see part of the ceremony at St. James Palace. We'll show you a little clip of them marching by. It was uncrowded. If you're interested in the way to kind of bounce back and forth and see multiple parts of this, there's a ton of YouTube videos out there on it. I'm not going to go into details because, again, I'm trying to keep these videos to about 15 minutes each. Let it suffice to say that if you want to see the band up close, this was a great spot. I will now stop talking so you can enjoy the part of the ceremonies. After watching the Changing of the Guard ceremony, I stopped by and provided patches to some of London's finest. As most of you may know, I'm a retired New York City police officer, and I always carry patches and say hello, take pictures with America and the world's heroes. Our first stop of the day was going to be the National Gallery. So we walked up a road called the Mall, through Trafalgar Square, and went to the National Gallery. The National Gallery is a free admission. There is no cost to go there, and it houses some of the most amazing pieces of art you'll see. The National Gallery houses works of art by some of the greats, including Rembrandt, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Velázquez, Degas, Monet, and even Van Gogh's. While Angela and I aren't typically the art museum types, it was just, again, amazing. You're going to hear the word amazing and breathtaking a lot through this series. It was absolutely gorgeous. These works of art were amazing. And things that you've seen in photographs or read about in books, you actually saw in person. And what we really thought was amazing is some of the incredible works of art by artists that we had never even heard of. As you can see in here are some really, really beautiful paintings of Italy and Venice and Rome, which we really enjoyed. As we show you some more footage from inside the museum and allow you to look at some of the paintings, I just want to give you some basic information on London as well. Now, we exchange quite a bit of money into pounds. They use the pound in London and in England, not the euro. That's also the same. They use the pound in Scotland and also in Northern Ireland. We probably exchange more money than we need because credit cards were accepted pretty much everywhere. But check with your bank and make sure that you do not have any foreign transaction fees. And also, it's very much a contactless credit card society. So chips may or may not work, but what you're going to look for is the RFID chips, so to speak. I'm not sure if I'm using the right terms, but RFID read is where you just kind of hold the credit card up to their machine and it automatically reads it for you. Also, make sure you notify your banks in advance when you're traveling so that you don't have any holds put on your credit cards. Angela and I typically have 1 or 2 credit cards that we carry with us that are not attached to our bank accounts and that we can use in case if there's fraud or something like that, it really doesn't make a big difference. Also, getting around, we did use Uber and we used taxis. During peak time, especially during the week, Ubers may be a little bit difficult to get. There are a lot of restrictions on London in who can and cannot enter the central business district and also the cost of it. So allow for extra time if you decide you want to use an Uber or flag down a taxi, one of the black taxis that are so famous in London. The people in London were amazingly friendly and helpful. If you had any questions, obviously, they speak the same language, but sometimes the accent can be a little bit difficult. And we found that we learned through our travels that different regions in England and Ireland and even different regions in Scotland have very different accents. So it was sometimes a challenge. And speaking to people, it was even a challenge sometimes from people from one end of Scotland to speak to people on the other end of Scotland. I know I'm probably jumping around a little bit here, but I'm just trying to give you all the information that you may need. Also, hotels in London, the closer you stay to the center of London, the more expensive they're going to be. And also, typically, they're not going to be as large as American hotels, as is the case in most of Europe. Going to walk you through the tube here a little bit so you can kind of see what the underground is like. On yesterday's video, London Day 1, we explained a little bit more about the London Underground and how you have to tap in and tap out. And again, you have to use separate credit cards. So Angela had to use one credit card, and then I had to use a different credit card to tap in and tap out. As you can see, the stations are huge. They're very, very big. The London Underground was built many years ago. The stations are very far below ground. But again, it was easy to navigate and easy to find your way around. If you could read the maps are pretty easy. And if you ask somebody for directions, they were very helpful with providing that assistance as well. We took the tube to the British Museum, which we'll show you in a couple of minutes. We also took a lot of photographs, and we kind of documented that on our Facebook page each day. So if you're interested in seeing a little bit more of the sites that we saw and some more information, definitely join our Facebook group. It's Finest Travel Beat with Angel and Bill, where we post a lot of still images, and we also give you a lot of travel tips and information as well. And as you can see, the train is coming in, and we will be on our way to the British Museum right after we get in it. The next stop is the British Museum, which opened in 1753 as the world's first national public museum. The British Museum is free and houses works of art and things collected throughout the world, dating back thousands of years. Or, as a very close friend said to me recently, all of the stuff that the British stole from all around the world over many centuries. My apologies to my friends across the pond. The British Museum is massive. And as you'll see, which is a recurring theme throughout our trip, we really only able to get a taste of things. obviously, if you could spend a day or days at the British Museum. We probably spent about 2 hours in here just kind of glancing through the collections. We did not get to every room. Angela and I have been pretty exhausted from not really sleeping much for a couple of days, but we did see some of the highlights. And again, using that term amazing and the other term breathtaking, to see works of art that were thousands of years old, and statues that are thousands of years old, and coins, and just a sense of time that is very hard to get as an American. The other thing that Britain did for us, well, London did for us, was make us want to come back. We definitely want to go back and spend some more time at the Tower of London, and also definitely some more time at the British Museum when we're a little less exhausted. I'm sure we all in grammar school or possibly high school learned about the Rosetta Stone, and one of the highlights that we were looking for to go to see in the British Museum was the Rosetta Stone. Now, to those that don't know, the Rosetta Stone, it dates to about 200 BC and was used to basically decipher ancient Egyptian writings so that they could be understood by all of us now. And in fact, there's actually language learning programs named after it. But to see the actual Rosetta Stone in person was absolutely amazing. After the British Museum, we decided to walk down towards Picadilly Circus, which we hadn't been to yet, and right off of Picadilly Circus is Chinatown. Now, if you've been to other Chinatowns, quite honestly, they tend to be a little bit on the less clean side. The Chinatown here was the most immaculate clean Chinatown I have ever seen, and the food looked absolutely fantastic. And this, folks, is Picadilly Circus, which I guess would be kind of described as the Times Square of London. Now, even after 3 days, I needed my phone to kind of get my bearings. Like I said, it's a large city. It's kind of laid out in not a grid system, so it's a little challenging to navigate at times. But if you have a phone, bring a phone charger with you also. I used mine quite often. But this was really neat. Again, gave me a real feeling of the Times Square vibe, but kind of the good 2000s Times Square and not the 1980s or 2023 version of Times Square. As we walk up through Picadilly Circus, we did stop at the Hippodrome Casino, which was a very old casino. Charlie Chaplin was actually there on their opening night. Again, history everywhere. We did pretty well at the casino, as a matter of fact. But let me talk to you about dinner a little bit. We wanted a Sunday roast. Now, Sunday roast is basically roast beef with Yorkshire pudding and potatoes and all the fixings. Well, we didn't make reservations anyplace, and as it got later in the day, it got to be much more of a challenge to find a spot that was open. We ended up having to do a lot of walking, and we found a place that had great food. So don't be like us. Make reservations for Sunday roast if you like it, and also make sure you do it earlier in the day as they can run out. Well, going to show you around the cute little gift shop we found that has some Harry Potter stuff and also some Peaky Blinders stuff for my Peaky Blinders fans out there. We hope you're enjoying these videos. It was a fantastic trip, and we learned so much that we want to share with you. So if you are, please hit the like button on this. And if you want to see the rest of this series or more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. That way you get notified when new videos come out. And also, it tells YouTube that what we're doing counts and matters, and they'll show it to more people that we can share our information with. And once again, we're going to wrap up this video. On behalf of Angela, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all the love and support that we've gotten. So until next time, we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.